So, this happened. The news on this is still pretty new. What we understand is that a building fell down in Miami. There's still a search going on to see if there's survivors, to figure out the full extent of the damage, and more. One of you had asked me, how could this have happened? And I responded, I honestly am unsure. There's a lot of points during construction in which things can go wrong. In the perfect design world, what happens first, besides all the things dealing with zoning and design, is you test the soil to see what it can bear. Just think about the difference of running on sand versus running on concrete versus running on clay. They all have different abilities to withstand force. And that would be one of the things that you test first. Additionally, you look at what happens when you take what was probably previously vacant land and put a building on it. Stormwater, loading, etc. So your structural engineers, your civil engineers are working to take the stormwater that is now displaced, put it somewhere, send it somewhere. Your structural engineers are now looking at the weight of the building in its worst loading conditions and how that is put on the ground and how do we secure it from moving. And your architect is looking how you get out of this building safely and securely with the most amount of time possible. And your mechanical engineers are looking at how do you protect the building with sprinkler systems and how do you deal with getting air exhausted out of it or smoke out of the building. And then your contractors are building this. Now here comes some of the realities. A developer who's building this building has a budget. And there's a phase in almost every project in which at some point you're looking at the decisions you're making and trying to figure out what's the best cost way to handle the problems you have. Any good design professional is going to have hard limits as to what they allow and what they don't. And the contractor is going to have to figure out how to build it with the budget he has, and the owner is going to have to figure out how to pay for what he needs to do with the budget he has. As this story unfolds, a forensic team of engineers and architects are going to have to go through all the information available to figure out what happened, and I hope the loss of life is limited.